I'm Tilly Sonoiki, a manager at the Wavestone in the London, UK office. I work to drive new business and deliver engagements under our strategic sourcing practice. I have worked in the IT consulting and technology industry for 8 years across various topics and areas with a specialist knowledge in technology procurement optimization, an area many of our clients are looking for advice and assistance in at the moment. The first phase of dealing with COVID-19 focused on many immediate challenges, such as the availability of critical products and services, an immediate change in the working practices as well, and coordination with external parties, including customers, suppliers, regulators, and other governmental bodies. Procurement functions, whilst continuing to manage day-to-day activities and ongoing projects, had to address specific challenges posed by the pandemic, things like broken supply chains, workers not being available to come into work, and restrictions and delays that affected suppliers' abilities to implement services. Second phase of the response and focus has shifted to the midterm uncertainty and the long-term economic and social implications of COVID-19. The response to the midterm uncertainty we face has been to explore immediate tactical improvements to procurement processes, systems and supply chains and tools that ensure the continuity of processes and activities whilst enabling much quicker decision-making and agility. Additionally, and to address the long-term economic and social implications of COVID-19, we're seeing an urgent need to identify and exploit every available cost reduction lever. Firstly, the lack of data and transparency. When our clients engage us to undertake strategic reviews of their technology procurement functions, the topic which we see time and time again is the lack of coherent data across business functions and the availability and transparency of that data. The second challenge we see is siloed and complex operating models. When we explore further into our clients' operating models, we tend to see relatively complex operating models between these functions. They tend to split the management of the technology product lifecycle as well. Typically, the front-end procurement of the product and the back-end management are split across the organizations, therefore clouding the accountability of where the management of the vendor value sits within the organization. The third challenge is where to find the opportunities. It's the exam question of every client. Typically, our clients have tens of thousands of contracts, thousands of vendors, hundreds of products, which makes the first steps of evaluating the size of the prize a daunting exercise. We always drive our engagements based on data and manageable phases. It's about finding the right areas within the business to focus the effort, as we understand from the outset that most do not have the resources or the need to review the whole technology portfolio. Understanding the data and investing upfront in cleansing and in some cases even building the central repository is certainly worth the effort. We typically follow 3 steps in making sure the data repository focuses the organization's effort in the right areas, it spotlights the size of the prize, and it provides us with a tool to leave something that is sustainable and manageable. Step 1. Understanding your current data assets. Who holds what data and where? What data points do you as an organization miss to be able to make some key decisions? Step 2. Review the data dictionary. Typically, terminology across the functions differs when we review contracts and the data behind them. Step 3. Accountability and ownership. Finding a central function to own and manage this data, typically the business management, allows many parties to then review and leverage the same data set to drive business value. The second strategy to consider facilitating cost reduction is identifying opportunities through a series of workshops per supplier. Using a two-phase process, phase 1 is about identifying the opportunities. During these workshops, the aim is to firstly discuss the 1 to 5 year supplier strategies per supplier. The second aim is to identify, further validate, and quantify sourcing opportunities. Then work with the category team to agree the savings potential and in turn prioritize opportunities for implementation. Phase 2 focuses on realizing the benefits. This is about implementing prioritized sourcing projects to quickly release the savings. This entails working with the budget holders and finance to track and deliver the benefits, then developing an opportunity roadmap to enable implementation in successive waves of savings over the financial year. The third strategy is about the operating model of the internal supply chain, addressing any siloed working and optimizing the interaction and governance between the technology business, finance, and procurement, thereby creating a more efficient dialogue and a simplified end-to-end process. This activity is key to transitioning cost-saving activities from project mode into business as usual. In order to achieve this, a simple maturity assessment to identify gaps in your operating model which need to be addressed to sustain savings delivery and effectively manage your organization's third-party spend is key. Secondly, train and transfer knowledge to category teams and procurement teams, to finance and to the technology business. Lastly, link the operating model to strategy 1, data. You must embed ongoing benefits tracking and reporting, as data is the start of all cost reduction activities. However, an important factor for driving cost reduction initiatives is accountability. It is not a tangible benefit, but is a key driver for change. We strongly believe the future of procurement is what we call data-driven procurement. We see this as using clean, consistent, and connected data to fuel supplier lifecycle, sourcing, operational, and analytical applications to achieve a 360 view of products, services, and suppliers. This will enable an organization to make informed decisions, align tasks, and find new ways to significantly reduce costs. There are ways you can look at driving data in your procurement function, such as creating a procurement data catalog. This is using a master data-fueled application for supplier relationship management. This leads to better spend analysis and enables predictive procurement. You can also streamline your supplier lifecycle management. This is simply reducing costs by eliminating the business overhead required to manage, analyze, and assess your supplier's lifecycle's information and performance. Finally, using big data analytics to create a product-to-contract library portal. This is simply for better contract management. In summary, the past and the current shows that data powers supplier lifecycle visibility, and supplier lifecycle visibility is a prerequisite for successful cost reduction and an increased return on investment. That visibility enables business strategy definition. Therefore, organizations must invest in automation and data analytics and all the enabling practices to power this visibility and in turn reduce costs.